Hey Finxters, and welcome to this video. So when I teach Finxter Python students, for example in my email academy, Finxter Email Academy, I'm often shocked how even intermediate level coders don't understand the very basic foundations of computer science. So what is a basic foundation? I mean, there's a lot of foundational knowledge, but there's almost nothing as fundamental as a simple plain byte. Okay, so in computing, everything consists of zeros and ones. So zeros and ones, they are called bits. These bits of information. So one bit of information encodes like either 0 or 1 value, and 8 bits of information build a byte. Okay, and I mean you know bytes. But I mean, in this tutorial I want to clarify some misconceptions and questions regarding the bytes object in Python, and a term that has quite a different meaning from bytes in general. So in general, byte is, say, this for this 8 bits, this would be considered 1 byte of information. But in Python, a byte is something else. Byte is an object, and it's defined as a sequence of bytes. Okay, so maybe let's first start with the question: what's a byte in Python anyway? And so it's a sequence of 8 bits. And it's immutable, so like a string object. For example, you would create a byte using this b prefix in front of a string definition. Okay, so for example, this one would create a new byte object in Python. Okay, so you have this byte in front of it, and so now we have stored this byte in the variable name a, and the byte is the bit sequence in ASCII code that encodes the character X, okay, uppercase X. So you can now print a byte, for example, and it gives you this representation as you have defined it. You can check the type of this object. It's from class bytes, and yeah, so you create it just like you would create a string, and basically the character X. So the is it even possible? Maybe I try something. Okay, car is. Okay, no, okay. It only works for you cannot convert it to character because it's not defined. Okay, but I wanted so maybe let's have another example. So here you are, for example, you can also, so now we have like defined the character X, uppercase X, which is the character X has the uppercase. So if you create b for x, okay. Now my Python shell is complaining. Okay, so now this works. Okay, so now we have defined the character x, and if you look in the ASCII table, you will find that it is the character x. The encoding is 88, so this is the 88th ASCII code the bit sequence needed to encode this is like it's binary. It's the bit value of the binary 88. Okay, so this way you can look up individual bits in Python, but a byte, I mean individual bits in Python, but a byte actually consists of and byte in Python is a sequence of bytes. Okay, so it encodes a sequence of bytes. So therefore you can also do the following. You can, for example, create a byte. So this is one object, a byte object in memory consisting of many bytes, so computer science bytes, needed to define the string value hello in your memory. Okay, so you have like five basically 5 ASCII characters here, HELLO, and each one is defined using a separate byte code. So therefore, a byte object in Python can actually consist of many different bytes. Okay, so and this is a bit confusing, and it was also confusing for me to explain now. And but still you use the same notation here to define one single byte object. Okay, so then the question is, what can we do with those objects? For example, you can like define say value x, hello again. So now we have defined a few characters. These characters here, we have encoded them in as a byte object. So byte object consists of a sequence of bytes. Okay, so it's one object consists of a sequence of bytes. Now we can have another object, say world, and now we can do simple concatenation stuff. Okay, so this is similar as the string data type, but you see it's now like the result of this operation type, sorry, x plus y, the result is of class types, okay, of class bytes. So the resulting value for string concatenation is for byte concatenation is also a byte. Okay, so therefore the add, so this dunder add method is defined on the bytes type as it is defined on the string type, and so you can use the default plus operation to concatenate multiple bytes. And so this works for Python 2 and Python 3, and it will probably also work in Python 4. Why? Because the semantics of the add operation won't actually change just by setting up a new programming language or modifying an old one. Okay, so then the question is how to join a list of bytes. So say you have the following list of bytes here. We have 1 byte Python, 1 byte, which is a list of of computer science bytes, so to say. So one byte object, one is object, one beautiful byte object, and now say you want to join all of them together. Then so many people try this one. So you can print, say we want to concatenate with a white space in between. We use the string join function and try to join together all elements in our list. Okay, so we pass the list here into the join function and we try to join them, glue them together with the empty space delimiter. So this intuitively it should work. If you know strings, then this will work for strings, but it wouldn't work here. It will throw an error message. So let's check. If you execute this, you get the error message, type error, sequence item 0, expected string instance, bytes found. Why? What is the problem? Yeah, you have this string here. You have a string object, the empty space. The string consists only of one character, the empty space, and now you try to call join on it. So you execute a string method. You join, and now it expects a list of strings, obviously, yeah. But the byte is a different data type in Python, so you need to in order to do this, in order to join sequence of multiple byte objects in Python, you need to also call this function on the byte object, obviously. So you should really so there's no implicit conversion in the join method from strings to bytes or from bytes to strings. So they are really different. They are used similarly, but you need to be consistent in your usage. Okay, so you cannot use bytes and strings interchangeably. So they won't be converted by default in Python. So some methods may convert them, but you never know. So you actually should be explicit about the data type you're using. Okay, and here you are using the byte object, and the byte object also has a method join, but this is a different method than the string method join. So therefore, this one would then concatenate all the strings in our list to all the bytes in our list to return the final byte object. Python is beautiful, and this is now 1 byte object. Okay, so this way you joined 3 byte objects together to 1 byte object by using this empty space byte as a delimiter. Okay, so this way you can join multiple byte objects together, and of course you can also use different delimiters. You can have the minus, for example, and also you can have, say, if you do some file I/O, then often you want to join on a new line character. So okay, so this way you will have this defined byte on which you call the join method as a delimiter. Okay, and now you also know how to fix a common mistake, which is not using the byte, using a string and join function on the string value, then trying to join multiple byte objects. So you should be type consistent here. Always use the byte object to call the join function on a list of bytes. Okay, so these were just some thoughts on the byte data structure and also how to use it. Should always be type consistent. And yeah, if you want to learn more about these basic fundamentals in Python, then of course check out the Finxter email academy. with links everywhere at Finxter website. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.